Hey everybody, welcome back to Tailwater Outfitters, and we're going to ask the question, how the heck do I know what speed baitcaster to use?
Well, hello.
Okay, this question is asked a lot of me by especially guys that are kind of new to the baitcasting world, but even some guys that have been doing it for a while. And I've got 4 baitcasters here in front of me. Now this is a 5.5 to 1 gear ratio. This is a Daiwa Tatula. This is a 13 fishing, which is a 6.8 to 1 gear ratio. And this one is the new Luz KVD, which is an 8.3 to 1 gear ratio. And this is the Revo Rocket, which is a 10.1 to 1 gear ratio. Although I think they messed up and put the handle on the wrong side, like it's some kind of a blemish, I guess. But anyway, what that means is every time I turn this handle, if I turn this handle one full time, the spool travels around 10.1 times. Pretty impressive. So consequently, this one right here, when I turn the handle one time, it goes 5.5 times. Now you ask yourself, well, why do I need faster, slower? Can't I just reel slower or reel faster? Yes, you can. But to be more effective with your bait presentation and to fish certain baits more effectively, you need to kind of have the gear set up correctly. So, for instance, I have a harder time reeling slow. It's easier for me to reel fast. I get kind of worked up. I'm all like, nah. And it's harder for me to slow down. So when I'm fishing certain baits that I'm going to throw out and crank them back in, like, I don't know, a crankbait, it's easier for me to use a slower retrieve reel. Now, there is personal preference that gets involved with that. But this is a good rule of thumb. If you're asking, well, how do I know which one to use? This reel right here at 5.5 to 1, I don't have to worry as much about over-reeling it, causing the bait to work unnaturally, to get up on its side. For instance, this is a Strike King Red Eye Shad crankbait, lipless crankbait. And if you go too fast with this bait, it'll get up on its side, and it just doesn't look very natural. This is the Rapala DT10, dives to 10 feet. This is another one that if you reel it too fast, it's not gonna present well. Consequently, if I'm using a bait, for instance, this worm, this is a Zoom Junebug trick worm. They call me Junebug. This is a Zoom Junebug trick worm. I'm gonna work this bait slow. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna basically throw this thing out there, let it sink to the bottom, lift it up, okay? Let it sink back down to the bottom, lift it back up, let it sink back down to the bottom. Well, in that case, I want a fast retrieve. Like for instance, this Revo Rocket or the KVD. Because now, most of the time when I put that bait out there and I lift it up and I let it drop, most of the time I get hit on the drop. So if I flip that out and I lift that bait up as it's dropping down to the bottom and I notice my line goes tick, tick, I need to be able to get that slack up really fast so I can set the hook. Hence the faster gear ratio. Now, I also prefer, now this comes down to preference of why would I go to a 6.8 or something that's kind of in the middle of all this? When I'm throwing a bait like this, like a walk the dog bait, which would be, this is a 13 fishing dual pitch, a Zara Spook, Yozuri, just about everybody makes some kind of a walk the dog. They make badonkadonks, all that kind of stuff. I like one that's kind of in the middle, so I would probably throw then like this 6.8 to 1 13 fishing. Because with that, I'm throwing the bait out there, and I'm going to keep a little slack in the line, but it's boom, 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 and I'm just kind of working this around. And you tend to find one that it might be a 6.8 to 1, it might be a 6.3 to 1, 7.2, somewhere in that middle range. That's perfect for you and how you like to retrieve that bait to make it walk the dog well. Because if you get all your slack out of the line, it's going to kind of work straight on you. So really it comes down to a rule of thumb. If you say, Dan, I'm new to this, I just bought my first bait caster, I don't throw backlash as much anymore, I can throw it where I want to throw it, why do I need to buy different speeds? And if so, what do I use them for? It's very simple. The slow moving bait, I use a fast moving reel. The faster moving bait, I use a slow moving reel. If I'm going to throw it out and retrieve it, straight retrieve, I'm going to use a slower reel. If I'm going to throw it out and work that bait slowly, like flipping, pitching, throwing a worm, whatever, where I'm going to especially have slack in the line, I'm going to throw it on a fast retrieve reel so I can pick up that slack, set the hook, catch the fish, win the tournament, be on the cover of Bassmaster magazine, and become the next Kevin Van Dam. And then I'll have a red reel like that. Wouldn't that be cool? Or maybe I'll just go out and have fun. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and make 3 friends Three of your friends subscribe to our channel, like a pyramid scheme. And then have 3 of them, so you see what I mean? It just goes down. It's like a pyramid. Just pyramid it. Pyramid. And then hit the subscribe button. You might have to hit it really hard to make it work. But please do. We'd really appreciate that. Share it too. Share it with your friends or your enemies or frenemies. Whatever. Thanks for stopping by. I'm done.
I came from the mud.